So this is something that you can do after you've been doing some of your schoolwork.
Jump, cross.
Arm extended, reach, grab, pull to our chest.
Keep going.
You're gonna scoop through and answer the telephone.
Practice that. I can't say that enough.
And then add your three.
Watch it into your stick and give someone you catch it.
And now Jack's turn.
For me, my first name is Jack. For Jay, I have Jenga.
Now we're going to 4. This is our muscle.
Bring it back and forth, back and forth.
Let's put it all together.
Hello, my name is Michael Campanile. I'm a Salisbury student, and today we're going to be talking about lacrosse skills. Today what you're going to need is a lacrosse stick, a lacrosse ball. If you don't have either of those, any type of small ball like a tennis ball will work. And if you don't have any balls at home, a tube sock will work fine. You can just roll it up and then into itself, and you can create your own homemade ball. So for our cues today, you want to work on having your bottom low, your foot by the ball. You're going to scoop through, and then we're going to work on something called answering the telephone. So you're going to have your ball right in front of you. Like I said before, you're going to have that front foot forward. You have your bottom low. You're going to scoop through and answer the telephone. Okay? So our first progression, we're going to work on it without a stick. We're going to drop the ball. You can back up about 3 or 4 steps. We're going to run up to it. Make sure you have that front foot forward, bottom low, and you're going to scoop through and bring it right to your ear. Okay? So first progression, you're running up to it, front foot forward, scooping through, and answering the telephone. You can work on that a couple times. After you get that done, if you have a lacrosse stick, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to have an actual lacrosse stick. So you're going to drop the ball just like we did before, but this time we're going to have our hand at the top of the lacrosse stick, and just like we did without our stick, we're going to have our foot right by the ball. You're going to scoop through and answer the telephone, bring it right by your head to protect it. So I'll show you that. Drop the ball, take a couple steps back, run up to it, bottom low, front foot by it, scoop through, and answer the telephone. That is our ground ball cues. For our second lacrosse skill today, we're going to be working on cradling. Our first progression is going to be without a stick. So if you don't have a lacrosse ball or a lacrosse stick at home, any type of ball will work. A tube sock or a tennis ball will work fine too. So for our first progression, our cues are just bringing it ear to ear, just like you would with a stick. The key here is that you're going to have the ball with an open palm. So you're going to have it right in your palm without grabbing it. So you're going to have it in your palm and you're going to bring it ear to ear. This is just like in lacrosse when you're cradling. So you can work on doing this right around the yard, but the key is not to cheat and grab the ball. It's just to have it right in your open palm. So the first progression is with your dominant hand, the hand that you write with, you're going to be cradling with it. After you get really used to that, you can get a little bit faster, move around. If that is too easy, you can move to your non-dominant hand. And remember not to grab the ball. So you're moving it ear to ear as you're moving around. So you can run around, you can change at different speeds, you can cut, and while you're doing it, it's just like you have a lacrosse stick. If you have a lacrosse stick, our next progression will be, you're gonna have your hand at the top of the stick, and you're gonna be doing just like we did before, having it ear to ear. Okay, so you're bringing it right across your face just like that. So when you're cradling, you're keeping it ear to ear, moving it back and forth while you're moving. And if that is too easy, you can move with your left hand. You can bring it back and forth, back and forth. And that is our cues for cradling. Okay, next we're gonna be working on passing and shooting. Our first progression is gonna be without a stick. So for any type of ball that you have, whether it's a lacrosse ball or a small ball, will work. So first we're gonna be working without a stick. Key for this one is to have your hips pointing at your target. You're gonna transfer your weight off your back leg to your front leg when you're throwing, and then you're gonna follow through. So hip pointing, hip and elbow pointing. You're gonna throw and follow through, okay? Just like you would in baseball. So one more time, hip and elbow pointing to your target, arm up, throw, and follow through. For our next progression, for those that have a stick, when you have your stick, you're gonna have your hand halfway down the shaft. You're gonna have your hand at the bottom, touching the rubber of the bottom of your shaft. And just like before, we're gonna have our hip forward, pointing at the target, our elbow and the bottom of our shaft, pointing at our target, arms back, transferring that weight off the back leg to your front leg and follow through, okay? Arms back, transferring that weight and follow through. For our last lacrosse skill, we're gonna be working on catching. For the cues of catching, we're gonna have our hand at the top of the stick, our other hand at the bottom, touching the rubber, and our top hand touching a plastic. When you catch, you wanna have your stick in front of you. And when you catch the ball, you're gonna watch it into your stick like you're catching an egg, okay? So you can work on this with a parent, a sibling, or a friend, and you can also throw against the wall when you're doing this. So when you're catching, make sure you give some while you catch it, okay? So when your parent throws it, you can watch it into your stick and give some when you catch it. If you would like to learn more about lacrosse, go ahead and look up Fruitland Falcons Youth Sports. Thank you.